Talks Teas, where we dive into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us, from personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation. On YouTube series. Hope you guys are all blessed and safe on this Sunday. Thank you guys so much for showing support. Yesterday we got an update from 2 months of working on YouTube, right? We have reached 250,000 views. Yay! Yay! Okay. We have been live now, back up on YouTube. We took a 5-year hiatus to get our lives and ourselves together in our communities, and we've done that. We've done our work. We've done our healing. We have done our soul searching. We reached around in the retrograde of the universe and saw that we were still needed and had a space on YouTube to join the platform. So here we are. We love and thank you guys so very much for the welcome back and the blessing and support. 250,000 views and climbing. Thank you guys so much over on YouTube for supporting. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please go over to Tanisha Talks Teas and subscribe. Facebook sippers, what's up? All of my Facebook sippers, so much love. We're almost at 16,000 followers over on Facebook. We are incredibly blessed, so thankful for the support. You guys really, for the big, the sippers over on Facebook. I really love all of my subscribers and followers on all the platforms that I'm on. Facebook, y'all really show up and show out for me. I thank you guys so very much for supporting and following me. Thank you guys for always engaging and communicating with me, letting me know where you feel and how you are living in your community and what you see in the world around you. And always sipping tea with Tanisha Talks Teas. So give yourselves a clap for that. We thank you guys so much. For all of my sippers over on Facebook, Twitch, hey Twitch, we are live on Twitch. We're climbing on Twitch, y'all. We're almost at 2,000 followers over on Twitch, okay? We've been on Twitch now almost maybe 8 months, and we're doing good. I mean, as best as one can. I'm not Kai Sanat. I ain't over here gaming, okay? If I was, I probably would be as nice as Kai Sanat. I used to be a pretty good gamer back in my gaming days, but not for nothing. I am so thankful for all of the support that I receive on Twitch. You guys engage. My, watcher, viewers are, climbing and rising. You guys do engage and you guys are watching, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you guys so very much for following me over on Twitch. Kick all my kickers that are over here sipping tea with Tanisha Talks Teas. Thank you guys so much to Elevated Source, exactly what we do. So we found out that Kick is a fairly new platform that we thought that we could also elevate and Sir, we've been over here about a month or so now. We have got almost 25 followers over on Kick, and it feels good. Like y'all engage, y'all really like comment a lot. Y'all are following and engaging, and I'm just so happy to be welcome to Kick. Thank you, all my new sippers, for following me on all platforms. If you are not a follower, subscriber, I'm on all streaming platforms. Okay, so just hit that like and subscribe button to get all of the latest tea from me, Tanisha Talks Teas. Okay, so our topic for the day, our tea talk topic for the day, is Shannon Sharpe's bald-headed ass. Okay, so let's just jump right on into Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is again, after his lawsuit, right, was settled with Gabrielle Zuniga. Okay, we've talked about Shannon Sharpe and how we felt about after the lawsuit. So that's on one of my lives. I don't remember exactly who I did the Shannon Sharpe live with. I think it was with Malcolm Jamal Warner and his untimely passing. But he is on one of my past live streams where I talked about his lawsuit and just how foolish he looks. Okay, I missed that lawsuit. So let's jump right into the current updates about Shannon. Okay, Shannon Sharpe has now officially been fired by ESPN following the settlement of a $50 million sexual assault lawsuit. Oh my God, y'all. I heard it was like 30 million. It was 50 million sexual assault lawsuit. Is that what he gave her, or are they just referencing what she asked for? Oh my goodness, y'all. This article is saying that Shannon settled for 50 million. But let's just keep reading and see what T is, okay? So Shannon Sharpe, a pro football player, of Hall of Famer and prominent sports commentator, was let go by ESPN on July 30th, 2025. This decision came shortly after he settled a lawsuit filed by a former romantic partner who accused him of sexual assault and battery. The lawsuit, which saw 50 million in damages, alleged that Sharpe had engaged in violent behavior during the relationship and recorded their encounters without consent. The lawsuit was filed in April 2025, and Sharpe publicly denied the allegations, describing them as a shakedown. He claimed that his relationship with the accuser was consensual and expressed his intention to return to ESPN once the NFL training camps begin. However, after the lawsuit was settled on July 18th, 2025, the details of the settlement were not disclosed, and Sharpe did not return to the network. ESPN has not publicly commented on the reasons for Sharpe's termination, but it is widely believed that the lawsuit and the surrounding controversy played a significant role in their decision. Sharpe had not appeared on the network since the lawsuit was filed, and his departure was reported by multiple sources, including The Athletic. So The Athletic reported that Shannon Sharpe no longer at ESPN. Okay. So Shannon Sharpe's firing from ESPN follows the tumultuous period marked by serious allegations and a legal settlement leading to significant changes in his professional career. Shannon Sharpe was officially let go after he settled the lawsuit with Gabrielle Zuniga, which ultimately ending in her retiring. She got enough off of the lawsuit with Shannon Sharpe to ultimately retire from working ever again. Okay, let that marinate in your spirit. So here's what people had to say. The football player from the network left 2 weeks after he settled a $50 million ape and actual assault lawsuit. Sharpe initially stepped back from ESPN in April after the suit was first filed against him. Sharpe had been with the network since 2023, so 2 years, when he joined the talk show First Take alongside with Stephen A. Smith and Molly Querim. He appeared as an NFL and NBA analyst who shared his thoughts on games, trades, and industry news. Although he signed a multi-year contract extension with ESPN in June 2024, he officially cut ties with the network in July of 2025. People reached out to the ESPN for comment, but the network has not addressed the exit. Meanwhile, Sharpe briefly spoke about the decision and shared his mindset. They did what they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that, Sharpe said on a July 30th episode of his Nightcap podcast. Here's everything to know about why Shannon Sharpe was fired from ESPN. ESPN has not shared an official reason for Sharpe's exit. However, Sharpe's departure occurred less than 2 weeks after he settled a $50 million ape and sexual assault lawsuit. When the lawsuit was first filed in April, Sharpe denied any wrongdoing and announced he would step away from ESPN. Prior to the media world, he played as a tight end with the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens and won 3 Super Bowls. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. Okay, very esteemed football player, which means that, he was one of the ones that would be sought out for deals like this, right? In addition to his work on ESPN, Sharpe found success with his podcast, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. Okay. Although Sharpe was officially released from ESPN in July, he has been absent from the network since April 24th of 2025. At the time, Sharpe wrote on Instagram that he was temporarily stepping back from the network just a few days after the ape and sexual assault lawsuit was filed against him. My statement is found here, and this is the truth, Sharpe wrote in a since deleted Instagram post. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. ESPN supports the decision to pause hits and told Variety in a statement, "This is a serious situation, and we agree with Shannon's decision to step away." So what did the lawsuit actually say about Shannon? The Hall of Famer's legal troubles began in April 2025 when a woman who was never publicly named accused Sharpe of aiding her on multiple occasions over the course of a nearly 2-year rocky consensual relationship. Per the complaint obtained by People, the woman, who had since moved to Nevada, claimed she met Sharpe at a gym, in Los Angeles when she was 22 years old. In 2023, she alleged that after he made several advances toward her, she agreed to meet up with him and they became romantically involved. However, she alleged that their encounters were not always consensual and that he would also record their actual encounters and share them with other people without her consent. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no, even once, that no means no. The complaint stated, defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. So y'all also know that her attorney was the guy that failed to sue Jay-Z. However, he doubled back with Shannon's accuser and got paid, okay? In the $50 million lawsuit, the woman further claimed that Sharpe became violent with her and threatened to kill her after she was late to his home one time. The plaintiff claimed she wanted to pause their relationship after seeing him accidentally live streaming himself having sex with another woman on Instagram in September of 2024. So remember all of those things that were like the very beginning of how we knew he was going to get sued by Gabriella Zuniga's. Okay. Yeah. So, however, the following month, the woman alleged that Sharpe forced her into a car and made her perform oral X and anally aped her. Oh, my dear sweet Jesus. Hmm. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed, the lawsuit alleged. He said at that point, look at this, look at my arm. I've got chills. That's how good this feels. Oh my God. In addition to the damage accusations made in the lawsuit, the woman's attorney, Tony Busby, also released an audio clip of a recording that he alleged was Sharpe threatening his client. So I wonder if I click on this, will it play it? Hold on, y'all. So it took me over here, right? Is this the clip?
My dream was always to be with the love of my life.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
if you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Oh my God. Shut up, Shannon. He done told this girl he was going to choke her while, having sex with her, and she did not have a choice. So that in itself is, damaging to damn near prove whatever else she said to be true. It is, and even if it may not have been the whole truth, that statement alone of him on an audio clip just burned him. That he alleged was Sharpe threatening his client. The clip, which was obtained by People in April, appeared to be the woman telling Sharpe not to manipulate her, okay? If you say that word one time, I'm gonna F choke the S out of you when I see you. A voice resembling Sharpe said. Shortly after the lawsuit was filed, Sharpe vehemently denied the allegations, and his attorney, Lanny Davis, said in a statement that it was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing, actual language, and fantasy scenarios. This is a shakedown Sharpe said in a video posted to X on April 22nd. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby. 3 months after the lawsuit was filed, Busby told People on July 19th that both parties had settled the case, right? Both sides acknowledged a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship after protracted and respectful negotiations. I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution, he said at the time. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, meaning she cannot bring these allegations and charges back against him again. Neither Sharpe nor his attorney comment on the settlement. So what has Shannon Sharpe said about the firing now following the lawsuit where he retired Gabrielle Zuniga while at the same time being fired from his job, okay? where he was looking to receive a $100 million deal with ESPN for whatever podcast he may have been working on, net spin or whatever the hell he was doing, okay? Net talk, night talk, caps, nightcap, okay? Shortly after his firing became public, Sharpe went on one of his podcasts to explain that he was at peace with the decision. However, he also explained that he was upset that the news came out ahead of his brother Sterling Sharpe's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I found out this information, says Sharpe, a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going to the Football Hall of Fame. I really want it to be about him, and I want it to be about my family. Sharpe explained on the July 30th episode of his Nightcap podcast. I said, this coming out will overshadow everything he's worked his entire life for, and unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. Okay, I'm going to sip tea right here, sippers, okay? First of all, we don't give a fuck about you thinking that it's all about you and your bad acting ass behavior that caused you to not probably be in the Football Hall of Fame any longer. They may take you out of it. I believe they said that Shannon Sharpe was in it. Okay, if he is, he's probably going to be taken out of it for this type of behavior. And if he's not in it, he's definitely not looking to be inducted, right? So I'm not for nothing. Your brother's achievement will always be just what that is. Your bad acting behavior will never overshadow that major accomplishment for Sterling Sharpe. Sterling Sharpe still will be, inducted accordingly as he should be into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as it seems he is going to be. Please don't start getting, all cute with me about this football shit, because all I know are some of the players, how to run some of the scrimmages, and some of the teams. So I am like a lot of women. I watch football for the ass, okay? For like some of the twirls they do, spin arounds, you know what I'm saying? Tackles. I watch a lot of football for that reason. I don't know no stats. I don't know who's getting traded most times. I don't know shit. But I do enough to talk about this, okay? So as I was saying, that has nothing to do with his notoriety of being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right? Nothing's going to be taken away from him. Yeah, we're going to sip our tea on you, but everybody that is serious Sterling Sharpe fans are going to be there for his major accomplishment and not give a damn about your major failure. Okay? Remember, like and subscribe. We are sipping tea from Shannon Sharpe's mess today. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. When you come in, remember, lift your teacups up to get this tea on Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so where were we? Despite Sharpe's wishes, the news of his firing came out ahead of his brother's induction, so he profusely apologized to his brother. I don't even think that was necessary. I still think that was Shannon trying to make it about himself. That's the narcissist in Shannon, because I don't even think his brother thought anything, probably nothing about it. Like, they're, looking at me to, give me notoriety for what I've done. You, on the other hand, are not in the brightest of lights right now. That's why you're getting fired, nigga. You're getting fired. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoy my time at ESPN, says Shannon Sharpe. They gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. I'm very, very grateful for that. Sharpe continued. They did what they felt they needed to do. I'm at peace with that. I just wish this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother. You're not overshadowing your brother in a good way. I can see if they were like, well, we want to induct both of the Sharpe brothers to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We just don't know which one we want to put on first. That ain't what's happening, okay? You're not overshadowing your brother in a good light. So nobody gives a damn whether or not they take into consideration your feelings of why they're releasing the time of your firing from ESPN, so people know, don't expect Shannon's ass back on Monday because we're firing him today. Type shit. Okay. Nobody cares about that, sir. First two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what, okay, so Shannon is in the Football Hall of Fame. I wonder if that may change now, according to what's all been going on, right? So, and this is what the headline is going to be for the next couple of days. You goddamn right, for the next couple of however long we want to talk about this shit. Never. What will Shannon Sharpe do next? Since his firing, Sharpe has continued releasing episodes on both his audio shows, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. Because, right, I think these are both things that he does on YouTube, right? So, he has 6 million subscribers combined on Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, which is wonderful. Like when Shannon Sharpe did the interview with Cat Williams, I think he made like $6 million, right? Just off of the fucking interview with Cat Williams. Cat Williams is that, he's a big deal in comedic, spaces. So yeah. And he talks that real talk, right? He talks the real tease of what we really want to know about what's really going on and what most people are afraid to talk about because they want to stay a A-lister in circles and, situations that they think keep them at the top, right? So according to the Athletic Sharpe's contract with the Volume Podcast Network, it's ending this August. So Shannon is losing money. He's losing money, okay? Not only the money that he lost when he gave it to Gabrielle Sunigas, right? He's losing money outside of that lawsuit as well right now. He was looking to sign with a new network for a contract that could exceed $100 million before the lawsuit became public. It's unclear where Sharpe and his projects currently stand. So let's read some comments. These guys ruined their own careers, says Delilah. So sad for the mess. Tony laughs. And there are only 2 comments on that. So what do you guys think, right? Shannon Sharpe, he does speak out after he got fired. Let's listen to that clip. So during a recent appearance on Club Shay Shay, former NFL star Chad Ochocinco Johnson shared a surprising fact about his 2 years. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's something completely different. I thought he was talking about Shannon's ass. Okay, this is out of relationship drama, goddamn self. He be hooking up with some baddies and just be dropping the complete ball on the entire situation. So let's listen to Shannon Sharpe's interview, or however have you, him talking about him being fired from ESPN and what that looks like. Remember, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We are live on all social media platforms.
technology, along with proprietary acid.
Shannon Sharpe is reportedly
Yes, this is why I switched to injection-free weight loss.
I was eating healthy, working out every day, and
NFL Hall of Fame tight end and former Denver Bronco Shannon Sharpe will not be returning to ESPN after all. That's according to multiple reports. News comes weeks after Sharpe settled a sexual assault lawsuit filed against him. Sharpe had temporarily stepped aside from his role at ESPN to deal with the lawsuit when it was filed back in April, vowing to be back in time for the NFL season. But now reports say he will not return to ESPN after all.
Got to get to some breaking news out of the sports world now. ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery. He has previously denied the allegations against him, and he hasn't been on the air since April. NBC News is out to Sharpe and his attorney for comment, although we haven't heard back. Ellison Barber is tracking this one. Ellison, what else do we know?
Hey, Hallie, I mean, it is a massive fall from grace for the Hall of Famer turned broadcast giant. As you said, his relationship with ESPN, it is officially over. He had not been on the air at ESPN since this lawsuit was first filed back in April. That was a decision at the time that he and his attorney had said they had made, that he had made on his own as he dealt with what he described back then as false and disruptive allegations. But look, he's no longer going to be on ESPN, and this is despite the network renegotiating his contract and announcing an expansion of his role on the show First Take just last year. You mentioned it, but no comment from ESPN or Sharpe. As of yet, the split, it does come 2 weeks after the attorney who was representing the woman who had accused Sharpe of sexual assault and raping her in the state of Nevada on 2 different occasions, one in late 2024 and one in January of this year. It comes 2 weeks after her attorney announced that they had reached a settlement on that lawsuit. The terms of the settlement were not publicly disclosed. Again, Sharpe has consistently denied any wrongdoing here. He claims that he had a consensual relationship with this woman. Based on court filings in the state of Nevada, she had said that she had met Sharpe back in 2023 at a gym when she was 20 years old and that they had engaged in a relationship over the course of 2 years. And then again in late 2024, that's when she says she was assaulted by Sharpe, both physically and sexually, and raped at least 2 times. Again, no direct comment from Sharpe at this time. He and his attorney, they had previously said that the decision to step away from his role at ESPN in April was one that he made himself. This no longer a decision he has made himself. This is ESPN splitting from Sharpe. He will not be on that show, on that program, on the network moving forward. That being said, he does have an incredibly popular podcast that airs weekly, and as far as we know, that will continue. But Hallie, in terms of his relationship broadcasting with ESPN, that is over.
Ellison Barber, thank you very much for tracking that.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Warning signs you are a witch by blood.
This is why your birth date isn't random.
People can feel it before you say a word. It's not looks.
ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe.
I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. They did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that.
So we just got the biggest breaking news story that we've received since what happened to Joy Taylor. And trust me when I say you are not ready for how deep this rabbit hole goes. Shannon Sharpe just got fired by ESPN. Not suspended, not stepping away, not taking a brief leave of absence because he was currently doing that. He was straight up terminated. And before you click off thinking you know this story, let me tell you something. There's audio recordings that we need to go back into. There's text messages that'll blow your mind, and a pattern of behavior that goes back years that nobody's talking about. Now, a lot of you guys think that maybe I have some sort of vendetta against Shannon Sharpe because he was an asshole to me one time when I bumped into him at the gym. But no, this has nothing to do with that. I promise you.
what about the moment when you actually realize that you're not here by accident? That there is a...
ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe.
I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. They did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that.
So we just got the biggest breaking news story that we've received since what happened to Joy Taylor. And trust me when I say you are not ready for how deep this rabbit hole goes. Shannon Sharpe just got fired by ESPN. Not suspended, not stepping away, not taking a brief leave of absence because he was currently doing that. He was straight up terminated. And before you click off thinking you know this story, let me tell you something. There's audio recordings that we need to go back into. There's text messages that'll blow your mind and a pattern of behavior that goes back years that nobody's talking about. Now, a lot of you guys think that maybe I have some sort of vendetta against Shannon Sharpe because he was an asshole to me one time when I bumped into him at the gym. But no, this has nothing to do with that. I promise you. Now, real quick, before we get to today's video, we're giving away multiple copies of Madden 26 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. And now that we get all that out of the way, let's get to this story because it's a crazy one. First things first, we gotta talk about the recent news we just got. Just a few days ago, according to Andrew Marchand at The Athletic, who broke this story, ESPN has officially cut ties with Shannon Sharpe. Barrett Media confirmed this directly with ESPN, though the network isn't really providing any additional comments at the time that I'm recording this video. Now, this isn't just any firing. This is Disney pretty much saying that we're done with one of their biggest stars. And here's what's gonna blow your mind. This happened exactly 12 days after Shannon Sharpe thought he was in the clear. Coincidence? I think not. 12 days after he settled that $50 million lawsuit that we made a video on previously, but I'm going to break down for you guys again in detail because it is absolutely insane. But before we get there, I need to take you all the way back to January 3rd, 2024. This day was without a doubt one of the greatest days, if not the greatest day of Shannon Sharpe's media career. And that's the same day that this entire story really started. And that's when Cat Williams basically predicted Shannon Sharpe's entire downfall. So picture this, Shannon Sharpe sits down with Cat Williams for what becomes the most watched interview in podcast history. 89 million views and counting on YouTube alone. There's no question that this is the greatest piece of content that Shannon Sharpe has ever recorded, and that's saying something because Shannon Sharpe was a media legend at this point. During that legendary 3-hour conversation, Cat drops this prophetic bomb that'll give you chills when you realize what happened next.
To get with a white woman because I was scared. Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. I have a reason to be scared. Could be Kang the Conqueror. Take your ass down in 2 weekends.
Now, at the time, everyone thought that Cat was just talking about Diddy and maybe some Hollywood people. But as reports would come out later on, Cat was eerily accurate about multiple celebrities facing consequences in 2024 and 2025. But here's what nobody caught at the time. Shannon Sharpe was sitting right there, probably thinking he was immune. This man had just left Fox Sports, joined ESPN, was making millions of dollars, and had Club Shay Shay exploding. The man thought he was untouchable, and rightfully so. He had no idea he was sitting across from a prophet. Now, I'm about to take you through the exact timeline of how Shannon Sharpe went from the top of the world to unemployed in less than 18 months. And I'm warning you right now, there are 3 separate incidents involving Shannon Sharpe and women that ESPN knew about. 3. And the last one, let's say the audio recordings were just the cherry on top. Now, for those of you guys that are hardcore NFL fans, and I'm assuming you are if you're watching this channel, you know that Shannon Sharpe wasn't just some random sports analyst. This dude built a Hall of Fame NFL career, and following that, he built a legitimate media empire. After his 14-year NFL career, where he made about $22 million total, he was making more money in media than he ever did catching footballs. His Fox Sports deal was paying him $3 million a year. ESPN was paying similar money, but here's where it gets crazy. His podcast empire was printing money. When Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless broke up 2 summers ago, I made videos detailing what Shannon Sharpe's content strategy was, and it was absolutely genius. Launch Club Shay Shay. I couldn't have predicted that he was going to launch Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, but he did that as well. And then make regular appearances on ESPN's First Take, just so you can remind daily sports viewers of who you are. Use that as a funnel to your podcast, and next thing you know, you're printing money. And that's what Shannon Sharpe did. He followed that to a T. key. Prior to his recent lawsuit, Shannon Sharpe was in talks for podcast deals exceeding $100 million. And that Cat Williams interview alone made him $6 million from one 3-hour conversation. BET reported that Sharpe was nearing a historic $100 million deal for Club Shay Shay. This man went from catching touchdowns to cashing checks, and he was winning big time until April of 2025, where everything changed forever. But before we get to April, I need to talk about the first incident that nobody really talks about, and that's something that happened at Fox Sports that they kept completely quiet. Now, bear in mind, these are all allegations. Shannon, don't sue me or punch me in the face next time you see me at the gym. So let's get to the story, because this is something that's a little bit more recent. For those of you guys that didn't watch my Joy Taylor video, I'm going to leave a link to it in the end screen so you guys could get the full story about this. But according to the lawsuit that involves Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless trying to hit on Nushin Faraji, while Shannon Sharpe was at Fox Sports, there was an incident with a female production assistant named Nushin Faraji that required a settlement. Front Office Sports broke this story, reporting that Fox and Shannon settled for several $100,000 to keep an alleged choking incident quiet. No lawsuit was filed publicly, no police report, nothing, just a quiet settlement to make it go away. Shannon's team called it a light physical interaction in a playful context, but keep that in the back of your mind, because this is a pattern that is about to become very important. Now, this is the same Shannon Sharpe who had that very public beef with Skip Bayless. Remember when Skip tweeted about game implications while Damar Hamlin was literally fighting for his life on the field? Shannon Sharpe missed the next show in protest.
If you'd like to tweet us your emotions of the night about what happened, please do so. You can tweet us at @undisputed. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports. Obviously, my partner Shannon Sharpe is not here today. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow.
And when he came back, they had that heated on-air argument where Shannon said this.
I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go. Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let
I didn't know you were going to bring up this.
I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue, not getting to your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
But now I'm wondering, was Shannon Sharpe's exit from Fox really about Skip Bayless, or did Fox have other reasons that they were okay with letting him walk? Either way, Shannon landed at ESPN and everything seemed perfect until September of 2024, when Shannon Sharpe made one of the most embarrassing mistakes in social media history. So if you somehow missed this or you've been living under a rock, on September 11th, 2024, Shannon Sharpe accidentally went live on Instagram while hooking up with someone. 3.2 million followers got an audio show that they never asked for, and I would show you the clip, but the last time we did that, we got demonetized, and I want to keep my YouTube channel. So initially, Shannon claimed that he was hacked, but then he came clean on his Nightcap podcast, admitting that he wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was him being a healthy, active male. For whatever reason, Shannon Sharpe wanted to flex to his 3.2 million followers that he's a healthy, active male. It's kind of weird that he's also saying it wasn't an accident. The internet went absolutely crazy. Cat Williams and Chad Johnson were among the many who had hilarious interactions.
Everybody always talk about date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right there.
Where y'all at?
Kai Cenat went on stream telling Shannon to put the phone in the next room next time.
Morning. Mainly when people see me, I'm at the airport, I'm at the gym.
Oh, you getting freaking.
Huh?
You know, because of you, I always check to see if my phone is on. Like, I make sure it's locked.
But here's the key thing. ESPN stood by him. They let him keep his job. They were embarrassed, but they didn't take any disciplinary action. And that decision would come back to haunt them in the worst way possible. Now, that Instagram incident should have been a warning sign. When you accidentally broadcast yourself to millions of people, that's the universe telling you to move different. But Shannon thought he was bulletproof. ESPN had his back. His podcasts were crushing. He was about to sign that $100 million deal. He had no idea that in just 7 months, a woman would file a $50 million lawsuit that would end his mainstream media career forever. And the details of this lawsuit are absolutely wild. So on April 21st, 2025, a woman using the pseudonym Jane Doe files a lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. But this wasn't just any lawsuit. This was a $50 million civil lawsuit accusing him of essay, and battery, an intentional infliction of emotional distress. The woman, later revealed to be OnlyFans model Gabrielle Zuniga, was represented by attorney Tony Busby, the same lawyer who went after Deshaun Watson. According to CNN's reporting, she alleged that Shannon Sharpe violently assaulted her while blatantly ignoring her requests for him to stop in October of 2024 and again in January of 2025. And this is where the story gets absolutely insane, because Shannon Sharpe thought it would be a good idea to release the text messages between him and this OF girl. And honestly, you don't have to be a genius to know what's going on here. And I'm just gonna warn you guys, if for whatever reason you get triggered by explicit text messages, then this is your opportunity to skip ahead 2 minutes in this video. And bear in mind, these were released by Shannon Sharpe. So Gabriella Zuniga in a text message to Shannon Sharpe on October 7th, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy ass, 25K for each cheek. Now pay attention to what Gabby says to Shannon here. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want. She would then say, I want you to put a big black baby in me, and you better crave it because you're gonna be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. I mean, this is 3 different ways of a woman pretty much saying, hey, I want you to get me pregnant so you can set me up for life. And the fact that Shannon Sharpe was oblivious to that will always just be very funny to me, but it would get even worse from here. For some reason, Shannon's team thought that this would prove that everything was consensual, but Tony Busby had his own evidence. And when I tell you about these audio recordings, you'll understand exactly why Disney had to let go of Shannon Sharpe. Here's where everything changed. Busby released audio recordings of phone calls between Shannon and this woman, and these recordings were absolutely damning. In one recording, you can hear the woman say, "Don't manipulate me." And Shannon's response is not so great.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Guys, when you're working for Disney and there's audio of you threatening to choke someone, it's over. Mickey Mouse does not play that game. But wait, there's more. Remember that Fox Sports settlement I told you about earlier? Now you kind of see a pattern here, right? Shannon tried to fight back. On April 22nd, he released a video calling the whole thing a shakedown.
This is a shakedown. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation.
But here's the part that had the internet roasting him for days. Shannon accidentally posted this statement as a screenshot of a text message from his legal team instead of just copying and pasting it. People were making fun of him for not being able to post a statement correctly while fighting for his own career. And 2 days later, Shannon Sharpe announced that he was temporarily stepping away from ESPN, and he said he'd be back for the NFL preseason. ESPN put out a statement saying that this is a serious situation and we agree with Shannon's decision to step away. But here's what most people don't know. NBC Sports reported that ESPN was ready to pull him off the air anyway. Now, Stephen A. Smith saw the writing on the wall immediately. In May, he told Big Boy TV that he knew Shannon couldn't stay on the air, but was hopeful for a return. But according to Awful Announcing, Stephen A. Smith also explained the reality of working for Disney.
I've been at Disney since October of 2003. I know this place. I know the worldwide leader that is ESPN, who's under the umbrella of Disney. And it wasn't difficult for me to figure out what was transpiring.
Stephen A. knew that Disney has morality clauses that forbid embarrassing the corporation, and with Shannon's history piling up, the writing was on the wall. You fast forward to July 18th, 2025, after 3 months of legal warfare, and the case gets settled. ESPN reported that both sides reached a mutually agreed upon resolution for an undisclosed amount. The lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning that she can't refile. No criminal charges were filed. Both sides put out a joint statement acknowledging that they had a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. For 12 days, Shannon Sharpe probably thought he dodged the bullet. The legal drama was over, he could return to ESPN, get back to that money, and he was probably already planning his comeback episode. But he had no idea what ESPN executives were discussing behind closed doors. Then on July 30th, 2025, around 11:45 a.m. Pacific time, Andrew Marchand drops the bomb. ESPN has cut ties with Shannon Sharpe. Not suspended, not on leave, fired. TMZ would confirm it immediately. The Wrap reported that it was a $50 million settlement that ultimately sealed his fate.
To get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really want it to be about him, and I want it to be about my family. Coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. As I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless.
Knock, knock. Hi there. I'd love to show you what a K-12 powered school is really like.
I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow.
His last social media posts were celebrating his brother Sterling's Hall of Fame induction. Dude was literally posting whiskey bottles and family photos while ESPN was preparing to end his career. And here's what people need to understand. This wasn't just about one lawsuit. This was a pattern that Disney simply couldn't ignore. The Fox Sports choking settlement that required hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep quiet. The Instagram Live incident that embarrassed the brand. The lawsuit with audio recordings of threats, and Shannon completely botching his defense in a case that he should have easily been able to win. ESPN can handle one controversy, but they can't handle a pattern, and they definitely can't handle audio recordings of their talent threatening to choke someone while working for Disney. The Washington Post confirmed that this decision came from the highest levels. This wasn't just some impulsive middle management call. This was Disney saying that we're done and we want nothing to do with this guy. So where does Shannon go from here? His traditional TV career is probably over forever. ESPN fired him. Fox won't take him back after that settlement situation. NBC, CBS, they're not touching this baggage with a 10-foot pole. But here's the thing, and I'm being dead honest, Shannon probably doesn't need them. His podcast empire is still intact. Club Shay Shay has almost 4 million YouTube subscribers. Nightcap with Chad Johnson still pulls numbers. He owns all of his content. The question is whether advertisers will stick around. Some sponsors already left during the lawsuit, according to industry reporters. That $100 million deal, Awful Announcing reported that it collapsed when the legal drama started. But Shannon could go fully independent. I mean, look at what Dan Le Batard did after ESPN. Look at Pat McAfee. He left traditional media and built his own thing, then got ESPN to pay him $85 million to come back on his terms. Amazon's looking for sports content. Netflix just got into live sports. FanDuel TV still exists. These platforms care more about views than controversy. Speaking of which, Amazon, Netflix, I'm sorry, FanDuel TV, we can't work together. If you guys are looking, my email's in my About Me section, but let's go back to where this started. Cat Williams, the man sat across from Shannon Sharpe on January 3rd and basically predicted his entire downfall. All lies will be exposed, he said. And 18 months later, here we are. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this story. Do you think ESPN made the right call with Shannon Sharpe, or do you think they should have brought him back for the NFL preseason? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
So now, of course, we don't think that ESPN should have brought him back for the preseason. We think that under the umbrella of Disney, which is a family, brand, those type of things just cannot be accepted, right? It's a shame because $100 million is life-changing. Speaking of life-changing, let's now review and sip some tea after y'all like and subscribe. Shannon Sharpe's children, okay, who are nowhere near as rich as Gabrielle Zuniga's after the lawsuit, okay? They are reportedly nowhere near as wealthy as she is. After he has had to settle with Gabrielle Zuniga over a lawsuit in the amount of 50 million. Now it's going around that it was 50 million that she got paid, but apparently, I mean, this is what it's looking like to me, that he gave her $50 million. So I don't know if y'all heard, like I heard and saw, the nowhere nearly able to provide a life for themselves as close as what he paid Gabrielle Zeus niggas.
Shannon Sharpe's 3 kids. How much are they worth now? Kayla Sharpe. Born in 1992, Kayla is Shannon's eldest daughter and holds a special place in his heart. Surprisingly, in 1992, 3 different women became pregnant with Shannon's children. Having earned $22.3 million in salary during his career, Kayla enjoyed a luxurious lifestyle from a young age. She did not.
So Shannon only grossed $22 million in football history and had to pay a little 20-year-old $50 million in a lawsuit over actual allegations. Don't let this be y'all's fate. Black people, all people, don't let this be y'all's fate. That is, no words can describe how sad and pitiful that is.
Not follow her father into sports, but chose to study pre-law in college. Kayla's net worth is approximately $500,000. Kiari Sharpe. Kiari may have been influenced by
his first daughter is worth $500,000. Okay? She cannot retire off of $500,000 and leave a legacy to her family's family with $500,000. Could she have done that with the support of $50 million that Shannon Sharpe willingly, suddenly gave to Gabrielle Sue's niggas and Tony Busby's? Yes. Did she? Can she now? No. Why? He fumbled their entire legacy.
His father, as Shannon taught him from a young age that everything must be earned through hard work. Therefore, he chose to defeat Shannon in various gaming competitions. Kiari went into finance. His net worth is estimated to be around $1 million. Kaylee Sharpe, also born in 1992, Kaylee is Shannon's second daughter. After retiring,
All right. His second son is going a little too fast for me. I'm trying to take notes on what their worth is, right? His second child, which is a boy, is worth one single digit of numeral $1 million. Gabrielle Sue's niggas off of suing that nigga Shannon Sharpe $50 million. 49 million dollars worth more than his second child.
Shannon accumulated a net worth of $14 million. All 3 children live with their father in
$14 million. The third baby doing quite well for themselves, right? $14 million. Okay. So we have $15 million, 500 million, right? No, 15,500,000. So sorry. 15,500,000. Okay. Are the 3 combined net worths of Shannon Sharpe's children. So when you take 15 and a half and you calculate that, Gabrielle Sue's niggas is worth $34,500,000 more dollars than Shannon Sharpe's children. $34,500,000 worth more than his children.
In a mansion valued at $1.9 million. Interestingly, in
they only live in a mansion that costs $1.9 million. I say only because look at the kind of money that their father has willingly given to a 20-something-year-old girl that is no blood relation to their family. She didn't need a heart transplant or a brain transplant. She didn't, like, they didn't RoboCop her ass. She is worth $34,500,000 more than his blood birth born line children.
2023, $1 million worth of items were stolen from Shannon's home. Kaylee became a Shannon Sharpe's 3 kids. How much are they worth now? Kayla Sharpe, born in 1992.
So hold on. That was a short from the Mayflower Pilgrim. I want to find the actual video. Darn, I think they only have shorts on here. Damn. So 10 months ago, Fame and Fortune did a piece on Shannon's bald-headed raggedy ass, okay? I think he's raggedy. Don't get me fucked up, okay? Because there's no way on God's green earth you allow this to happen to your legacy. This is trifling. Y'all are trifling. But we're going to dive into his lifestyle. We're going to sip some tea from 10 months ago of what Fame and Fortune, you know, describes as Shannon Sharpe's lifestyle: wife, kids, house, cars, net worth. Just what he had 10 months ago, right around that he was sued by Gabrielle, right? Maybe 5 or 6 months prior. Just so we have a better understanding of what Shannon Sharpe had in terms of what he gave up.
Take control of your ride by customizing your safety preferences in the Uber app today.
Like and remember to subscribe when you come. We're sipping tea from Shannon Sharpe.
So we have all seen Shannon Sharpe's TikTok account, right? Spence's. Okay, don't believe us. Here is a visual. Some time ago, Shannon Sharpe went on social media sneaker shopping, and he bought Kith LeBron's 15th model, Burgundy Air Jordans, Oregon 3, the Lightning, the DBs, and Duck Classics all in one go. Now, if we make some rough calculations, that is almost $3,000 in just one click, in 12 minutes only. Our man Sharpe is 56 years old, retired, and he is still breaking the bank. And we want to know how. Is it because of the Nightcap or Club Shay Shay, his podcast? Does saying things like is a corporate event really make you that rich? Sharpe, the lightning rod of controversy, has carved out a unique niche for himself in the sports media landscape. But beyond the headlines and the hot takes, there's a side of Sharpe that few people know. Beneath the brash exterior lies a man who has amassed a staggering net worth through his successful career. His lifestyle is one of unparalleled luxury, complete with a stunning house, a devoted wife, and adorable kids. But how did Sharpe achieve such extraordinary wealth and success? What sacrifices did he make along the way? And what hidden secrets does his past hold? But be warned, the revelations we'll share may shock you to your core. Shannon Sharpe, the outspoken NFL analyst, has been making waves with his recent comments on the league. On his show, Nightcap, Sharpe has been vocal about his belief that the NFL has become a corporate entity, prioritizing profit over the well-being of players. Sharpe's claim has sparked debate among fans and analysts alike. While some agree that the NFL has become more commercialized over the years, others argue that the league has made significant strides in player safety and welfare. Sharpe points to the increasing number of games, the shorter off-season, and the pressure on players to perform at a high level as evidence of the league's corporate focus. One of the highlights of his collection is a pair of custom Air Jordan 1S gifted to a lucky fan, showcasing his
enough. Even though they
net worth during his.
So, according to this, y'all, Shannon Sharpe was only really worth $30 million before he got sued by Gabrielle Sue's niggas. Okay, let's ask Google. Okay. Because if that's the case, Shannon Sharpe didn't even have enough financial net worth to cover a $50 million lawsuit. How much is Shannon Sharpe's net worth in 2025? Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you. According to various reports from April and July 2025, Shannon Sharpe's net worth is estimated to be around 14 million. 14 million in net worth currently. If that's the case, Shannon Sharpe may not have even had enough to cover $50 million lawsuits. Okay. However, some sources like Celebrity Net Worth claim his net worth is around 30 million, like we just said from watching this clip. The estimation includes his earnings from a long and successful NFL career, lucrative deals in the sports media landscape, and the popular podcast Club Shay Shay and his Le Portier cognac brand. So it's estimated around 30 million. Okay, so according to this, Shannon Sharpe did not even have the money to pay Gabrielle Sue niggas. Did Shannon Sharpe have the $50 million to settle with Gabrielle Zuniga in the recent lawsuit? 2025. Okay, it says, yes, Shannon Sharpe had the financial resources to settle the lawsuit. And please keep in mind, this is AI, this is Chat GPT I'm asking, with Gabrielle Zuniga. The lawsuit in April 2025, Gabriella Zuniga filed a civil lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe seeking $50 million in damages for sexual assault and emotional distress. Sharpe's estimated net worth is reported to be around $30 million, stemming from his successful NFL career and popular podcasts. With one source mentioning a rumored 23 million figure that remains unconfirmed. The settlement is speculated to have been a significant sum, as it reportedly led to Zuniga's retirement from OnlyFans and Sharpe's departure from ESPN. Sharpe was said to be exploring a potential 100 million podcast deal before the lawsuit surfaced. The lawsuit and its resolution seem to have impacted both Sharpe's career and Zuniga's public image. Okay. I just don't see how he has enough. Even though they say he has enough, maybe that's in assets, you know what I mean? Other things, I don't know. We're going to continue to explore that as, it continues to unfold. But let's just ask a couple questions. If you only have $30 million in net worth and you are sued for $50 million and you settle for $50 million, what does that mean? If you have a net worth of $30 million and settle a lawsuit for $50 million, it indicates that the settlement amount exceeds your current assets by $20 million. Okay? You would likely become insolvent, meaning your debts, the $50 million settlement, would outweigh your assets, $30 million net worth. You might attempt to negotiate a payment plan with the claimant, potentially spanning many years or even decades to gradually fulfill the $50 million settlement obligation. So let's ask this. Well, let's hold on, because I want to know, did he pay it in full? So let me take a note. Did he pay settlement in full? Okay. If negotiations fail or are not pursued, the plaintiff could seek to enforce the judgment and potentially seize assets like real estate, investment accounts, or valuables, and or garnish a portion of your future wages or income until the settlement is paid in full. However, there are usually limitations on what assets can be seized. Your primary residence might be protected under certain clauses, and there may be limits on your wage garnishment. He can file bankruptcy, like we saw with Tasha K and Cardi B, right? Filing for bankruptcy might be an option. Bankruptcy could potentially eliminate a portion of the debt, providing some relief from the settlement obligation. However, not all debts are dischargeable. And we know from Cardi B and Tasha K that you cannot discharge a lawsuit settlement in a bankruptcy for no reason whatsoever. It has significant legal and financial consequences. Laws vary regarding what assets are exempt from seizure in the event of a lawsuit and settlement. Certain types of retirement accounts or other assets might be protected depending on the jurisdiction. You might need to consult legal counsel to determine what assets are exempt from seizure in your specific situation. In essence, settling a $50 million when you have $30 million means you are legally obligated to find a way to pay the additional $20 million, potentially through a payment plan, asset liquidation, or a combination of both, possibly with implications for your long-term financial stability. Okay? So yeah, Shannon didn't necessarily so much have $50 million to pay Gabrielle Zuniga. Did Shannon Sharpe pay the $50 million settlement to Gabrielle Zuniga in full when he settled with her? According to multiple reports, Shannon Sharpe did not pay. Shut up. Put the teacups up and get this tea. Okay? Shannon Sharpe did not pay the full $50 million initially sought by Gabrielle Zuniga. Okay? So, it's important that, it's not officially confirmed and it's based on viral rumors that Shannon Sharpe did not pay the full $50 million. Okay? So he is essentially on the hook for whatever amount, he did not pay to settle with Gabrielle, right? So, yeah. Shannon Sharpe just didn't have it to cover it. Did Shannon Sharpe have the full $50 million to cover the lawsuit with Gabrielle Zuniga in the amount of $50 million? Based on the available information, it's not possible to definitively state whether Shannon Sharpe had 4 separate $50 million payments to cover the lawsuit with Gabrielle Zuniga. Here's a breakdown of what is known. Zuniga filed a civil lawsuit against Sharpe seeking over $50 million in damages. Sharpe and Zuniga reached a confidential settlement, and the lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning she cannot bring it back. The financial terms of the settlement were not publicly disclosed. Sharpe's lawyer stated that Sharpe offered her $10 million to settle the case before she filed it. So it sounds like Sharpe felt like he had at least $10 million to give her. So more than likely, he, gave her some type of a payment to resolve the $50 million settlement that he decided he was going to give her. And I think the reason is because he felt like he would go back to ESPN and pick up the $100 million deal. And unfortunately, that's just not what happened. So we're going to move on to the next thing. Shannon Sharpe is being sued by an Usher fan. Remember the lady viral for kissing Usher at a concert, and everybody got all, out it saying, "Oh, she's a married lady. Usher, what you doing out here with the married women?" Well, let's take a listen to what that trend, came about by her. Okay. She's suing him. She says Shannon Sharpe ruined her life.
How about this? We do an episode of David meeting famous people.
So hold on, let me get to the article and then we'll review. Shannon Sharpe is currently facing $20 million defamation lawsuit from Jamalita. Sorry for butchering your name, Miss Tillman, okay? An Usher concert goer. Tillman alleged Chad Ochocinco Johnson made false claims about her marital status during a viral moment at an Usher concert in 2025, suggesting that her husband was filing. Quickly refuted these claims, stating she's single to correct the narrative. The lawsuit argues that the false statements caused significant harm to her reputation and her personal life because she was going viral. Everybody was like, "Oh my God!" Even I was thinking that, because she was married. I'm like, "Oh God, her husband's going to be going crazy about it, right?" So yeah, let's continue to deep dive into that and see what this is about. Shannon Sharpe sued right after he just got done having to pay, and having to pay Gabrielle sues niggas for $50 million. Okay. So this is her. Let me make sure. Okay, this is her. Okay. Make sure y'all can see her. Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay dipping.